checked.
So one way or another, you guys
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
Do you need a paper for the show notes?
I have it here.
Nothing.
Okay.
You lose.
You can hear it too.
Oh, you can hear it? Are we on the air right now?
We're on YouTube.
You're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube right now? All right, we'll be going on in a minute, right? All right.
As soon as you get your mics checked, the headphones, and all that stuff, and we'll be ready to go. I want to hear your around here too.
Oh my goodness, this low chair.
8 hours later.
Starting.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, my fucking nose, man. Wait, let me just see if I have. Okay.
Says who?
What's Mike? Is this Mike?
Yeah,
Mike,
that's
is
on.
that one on?
That's
Okay.
on.
I think we're ready. All right, we're going on
I'm
there.
on my computer right now.
You let me know when you are.
Are we on Facebook? Are we on Facebook right now? Facebook Live?
You're on YouTube.
YouTube.
Facebook
All
Live
right.
threw us
I'll
off.
get the link, and I'll put it on Facebook for you.
Oh, that's right. Oh, can you zoom in with the camera too a little bit?
A little bit more? Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta take my earrings out.
See my handsome face right now.
Oh, okay. I'm like so little compared to you right now.
I know. Yeah.
I look like a little munchkin in my little chair. My little kid
Close enough,
chair.
Dave, or you want closer?
No, that's right. That's good. You're like a little munchkin over there. It's so
Put
funny.
Weiscrackin on there, too. Put it on.
Okay.
All right.
So you know when you're ready.
So we're actually taping right now. Like we're
You're on YouTube, yeah.
We're on YouTube.
right now. All right.
So is it like the Hamilton?
No, it's under Ironworks Films. They won't let me have my page back.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, they're killing me.
Wow.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go on my Google Chrome here.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you that link right now. As soon as
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
I think my mic. Do you think my mic's okay?
It's perfect. I
Okay.
can hear it just fine.
All right.
Is that better?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, that's better.
Hello.
Okay.
I know Mark likes a little bit louder.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to start then?
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Fucking jackass.
30 seconds.
Okay.
And I'll do the Patton Oswalt thing. Here we go.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt's coming up.
Says who?
Fellow, you're
Outspoken fellow.
an outspoken fellow, and these are interesting.
You're a real
loudmouth.
I feel like a hedgehog in a suit. You're an outspoken little fellow. Here, have an acorn. God.
Well, okay, we are living through turbulent times. People
Really?
have
What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you. We have this new president, Donald Trump, at the reality show, and I'm curious. What's your take? You must have thoughts on Mr. Donald Trump.
Well, here's my thought on Donald Trump.
Here we go.
I think one of the reasons people hate him so much and why I hate him so much is because he really shoved into our faces how not progressive and evolved America is.
Yep.
We are not as progressive as we thought we were, because I think there was a lot of back patting going on when we elected Obama twice. It was like, yeah, check it
Gene,
out.
you're static.
It's like, black president. Yeah, you're welcome. We're pretty cool. America, 21st century. Pretty nice. And then, 8 years of a black president, and our choices were this insanely qualified woman and then a racist scrotum dipped in Cheeto dust. And the country said,
That's my favorite line.
like, well, let's see what the scrotum has to say. Like, let's take a little break. And so, like, in other words, it's like we couldn't go from black guy to what it was too much. It was clear that, like, a big part of the country while Obama was president, on the outside they're like, well, this is very nice, but internally they were clearly going, black guy, and just freaking out. So it's almost like, here's what it's like. Imagine going skydiving for the first time, and the minute your feet hit the ground and you're freaked out, someone runs up and goes, let's go bungee jumping right now. And you go, I need a week on the couch to just eat wheat thins and watch old Blackadder episodes. So right now, Donald Trump is our racist palate cleanser. The country is eating wheat thins and watching old. And by the way, we will eventually have a woman, probably very soon have a woman president, and then after she serves her terms, the choice will be like an insanely qualified gay guy and then a Klansman with the ass like cut out of his jeans. And they'll just go, let's see what the Klansman with his ass hanging out has to say. He might have some, that's a bold move.
We're balancing things out.
We're
as
not
a
about,
nation.
so just try to, as best you can, stay active during the palate cleanser. Stay active while America sits on the couch and has wheat thins.
All right.
And look at the
right.
scrotum dipped in Cheeto dust and just kind of go, it's kind of...
Yeah. That's a horrifying image.
It is.
Absolutely.
But, that it's still time to carve it on Mount Rushmore. Giant orange scrotum. Put that right to the left of Lincoln.
It was Lincoln's dream.
And change Lincoln's face so he's going like this, like that would be awesome.
I think that's been a New Yorker cover.
Our theme
Okay.
song. Our theme song's
Our
coming
theme
on.
song.
With the bass.
It's a really good World History song, isn't it? It'll get kicked off for that.
All right, we're on. It is the Weiscrackin Show. It is August 21st, 2018.
Yes. And we are experimenting with Skype.
We are. We're trying.
We're trying with
Jay
Skype.
Bradley is having issues. It says shows cannot be found. So is there a way to put his picture up? If we can do that, can you rip it off of Facebook?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
404 error, not found. So we are trying to get a caller in.
Yes, and we're also having Facebook Live troubles. They threw us off, and I'm just waiting for a link. I got our page up. Yeah, and I'll link it right onto YouTube. Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
I'm going to tell him to call the studio number.
Yeah, do that, and I'll get the
What's the
Yeah.
studio number?
807-609. It should be on the bottom there, see?
I can. There you have a
It says
different
pilot
screen.
breaks down in tears. Oh, there it is. 807-2492. So if you'd like to call in, 609-807-2492. I'm not sure anybody is able to see us right
I don't
now.
know. 609
807
807
2492.
92. All right. So I'm going to have him call since he can't get in on Skype for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He's a jackass.
So
That's not true. It's difficult, David.
not Gene, not Gene. We'll give Gene thinking music. Where is it? Come on, Gene, you can do it. Pressure is on for Gene to figure out what's going on with
What
the
is going on with
404 error.
What is going on with Skype?
All right, we're going to start waiting for Jay Bradley to call.
Yes.
Jay is a friend from Facebook. He is hilarious.
He is so great. I can't believe I wonder if he has high blood pressure because
He might. He might.
listens to all these right-wing radio shows.
Right.
He's calling.
Oh, he's calling
Okay.
right now?
Yep.
Yeah, put him on.
Okay.
Is this Dave?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
What's up?
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, you too, man. I can't believe
I
it.
don't know what's going on here. I clicked on your show and I've got nothing here.
I don't know. We're not even on YouTube.
Well, no, we're on
not
YouTube.
even- we're on YouTube, but we're not on
We're not on
Facebook.
Facebook. They took us off of Facebook. I don't know why.
So whatever.
Ah.
Yeah, we can't
but
figure
we're
it
so
out.
happy you called in because we're really, first of all, I watch when you go Facebook Live.
We
I'm
do, we
fascinated
do.
by you.
Is that Marty?
Yeah, that's
it's-
Marty.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, what's up, Marty?
Hey.
We are.
We're fascinated by you. Do you have high blood pressure? Because I'm so worried about when you get upset with these
Right, we
shows.
do. We're like, this isn't how it is. I'm like, isn't there some kind of CD
And sometimes he
you
has
can
a
listen
hammer
to?
in his hand and stuff. He's like fixing things. And I'm like, is he gonna beat something?
He's gonna smash his radio. How do? Okay, we know. Okay, give us, for people who don't know this, we'll show this later. Give us your background. By the way, we've been friends for a while, and I found out your backstory. So don't go too far back, but tell us where you were and where you are now, as far as
Politically.
you were a conservative, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I was born in Texas. I was born here, but I lived in Texas
Where's
about
here?
half my,
Where's
out
here?
in out in Midland, Odessa, where George Bush was born.
Okay.
So
okay.
I lived out there for a while, and then the oil business kind of took a shit, so we had to get out of there, and then we went to Florida, and then we
Okay.
lived there for 20 years, and then
Conservative-
here we are. I'm back here.
Conservative.
Where I
family?
used to visit here, as a kid all the time, because all my grandparents that
Right,
were
right.
living, well, of course they were living then,
Right.
were
Conservative.
living
Like,
here. So, we visit here quite a bit.
okay, Republican, conservative views, the whole deal.
Oh yeah.
Voted
Well,
Republican.
I don't really, like I said, I didn't really. I guess I just kind of went along to get along. I really
Yeah.
wasn't sure because everybody where we lived, you have to realize, it's just conservative land out there.
Yeah.
There just
Yes, we
is
saw
no
that.
liberal people.
Yeah, he's at a self-masturbatory rally right now down in, where is he,
No,
Virginia
he
tonight?
finished up already because I tried to take a look at what was going on.
What was that?
That was my computer.
Oh, that was her. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to turn
So
my-
we're having a little technical difficulties. You're our first Skype victim tonight. Gene, did you find his picture? We're trying to find your picture, so we're trying to go through that. So
Wait a minute, let's go back to the rally because we were trying to watch the rally.
We're trying to watch
when
the
we were
rally.
driving here, although I almost got in a car accident.
Right,
trying
right.
to do that. but
You
as soon as we turned it on, it was
you're
over.
talking about the rally in West Virginia?
yes,
the ra-
yes.
right, and he didn't mention Michael Cohen or Paul Manafort at the rally. Like, he
But
didn't-
Wow.
but before he took off, he said that he feels very sad.
he feels sad for them. Yeah, because
They
both
are
good
fucking
people.
criminal. They're criminals. It's outrageous to me. It's and people, he has the press set so far against. He has those people set so far against the press that they actually think that they're the enemy when they're actually doing their
I know.
job and reporting what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, for a change, they're doing their job, 100%.
Right.
But he has. Go ahead.
We just got back from Detroit, and we drove through West Virginia yesterday.
Oh, you
Or
did?
no, Sunday.
Okay.
And where is he at up there? I forget.
You know what? I don't know where he is, but they said it was like coal country because they.
Isn't all of West Virginia coal country?
I don't know. I don't know where the coal mines are, but
Yeah.
like they said,
Well,
it says a place where voted for him. They voted for him 40%. Over, like his
Oh, yeah.
voting margin was 40% over Hillary.
But
Yeah.
we don't understand, and maybe you can explain to us why these people continue to vote against their own interests. Why do they do those types of things? We will never ever understand it.
No.
Dave, I just don't know. I really don't. It's just, we drove through Charleston, and you got the coal. You see the piles of coal on both sides of the highway when you're driving around through there.
Well, one side's
And
dirty
you
coal,
see
the
these
other
people
side's clean
living
coal.
in just shacks. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
Jesus.
Wow, they're in shacks.
They are. Oh, I have to tell you a funny story. When
Yeah.
we're driving in Virginia or West Virginia somewhere, and we saw a billboard, and I shit you not, it says "Ditch the Mitches," and it's got a picture of Mitch McConnell
Ugh.
and another Mitch. I guess he's like some kind of local government there.
Okay.
And there's a huge billboard right on the side of 77 with a big picture of Mitch McConnell. I couldn't believe it.
It's like a turtle.
Like a turtle.
Yeah,
you know
like
what?
a turtle.
They're all complicit in this now. Every single one of them who's
Yeah.
not stopping this. There's been so many things that have been done that have been unconstitutional, that are unconscionable.
Absolutely.
And
Well, this is talk about what happened today.
yeah, listen.
mean-
We want your view as now. You consider yourself to be now liberal, correct?
Yeah, I would say I was pretty hardcore progressive now, you know.
What happened that changed you? What was it?
We'd like to know.
We
Tell
wanna
us
know.
everything.
To tell you the truth, it was what happened to me with my health in 2009 probably did it. That's really what cemented it in stone.
What was that? Give us a little brief synopsis. Now, you don't tell us like all the details.
Well,
but-
okay, let him talk. We have plenty of time.
yeah,
David.
go ahead.
No, I'll be glad to tell you what happened. I mean, in 2009, well, we moved here to North Carolina from Orlando in 2007.
Okay.
And I was already having some trouble, you know, with my feet and my, you know, I was having a hard time walking. You know, my feet just were not working correctly. It's just like, you know, my brain does not send the signal to move my feet all the way down to my feet. You know, it's something with this sciatic nerve, or, you know, the big nerve that runs down your your legs.
Yeah.
Well, they're not communicating. So I'm like walking, and my feet, I'm having a hard time walking without like tripping over my own feet. You know, something's just not right.
Okay.
You know, for a year, you know, I just sort of, you know, just said, I really didn't even, I kind of kept it hidden. But, you know, it got to be too obvious, you know, for people to just see.
How do you hide it? Because you do restoration work, right?
Yeah, I just kind of mess around here. You know, I've always been really good with, like, you know, fixing things, repairing things.
Right.
You know, I worked at Disney World as a maintenance engineer for, you know, 15 years.
Wow, okay.
But, yeah, I've been doing this kind of work for, you know, all my life, so I'm pretty good with this kind of stuff.
Hey, I seem to be. I watch your
Yeah,
video.
you're always you're always in
tinkering
your
on something.
you're always in your garage, and you're like, this is not how it is, people. Like when you have like Hannity on, or every time like we have you on our alert. So every time you go live, I'm like, hey, Jay's live. Like I'll call Marty real
Oh,
quick.
look, there's Jay's picture up
Yeah,
there.
we have your picture up. It's your profile picture from
Yay, thank you,
Facebook.
Gene.
So Gene fixed it for us.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So how
Especially when Rush comes on.
Right. So how do your neighbors react to you? Like, do you, when you go
Are
out
you
in public,
out?
are you like Mr. Liberal and like, do you lecture people and stuff?
Do you try to?
No, you know, honestly, you know, most of our neighbors here, I mean, I think my neighbor across the street, she's a closet liberal. She's kind of a, what you call a, you know, closet hippie liberal. So we get along pretty well with our neighbor, Cynthia. But our next door neighbor, you know, they're pretty hardcore conservative over there. But I think they're regretting their vote because both of them are disabled.
Well, did something affect them personally that they're now regretting their vote? What did it take at the 11th hour of this schmuck in the White House?
I think it was the insurance and the healthcare stuff.
Are they
Really?
trying to get rid of the insurance that they have, or okay?
Well, yeah, they're always having trouble, you know, paying their bills and everything. Like I said, we live in a pretty nice neighborhood here. But this guy was a retired, you know, he was an airline mechanic down in Charlotte, and he's younger than me, believe it or not. And I mean, the guy just has this shit show of health problems.
Oh,
man.
But, you know, they're just, you know, I really think that both basically went, you know, like we went basically bankrupt from probably $1 million+ in medical bills.
Wow.
And
the two of
you
us.
caught up in like the pre-existing conditions web where you couldn't get some of your conditions covered?
Well, I basically had to just become destitute and get on Medicaid.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
how
That's
we-
sometimes what you have to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You have no
Yeah,
choice.
I mean, that's pretty much what we had to do.
Hey, Jay, hold on a second. Gene, we're okay? We're still filming? We're still good? Okay.
Okay, yeah, he's working on something.
Sorry, we see another screen in front of us. So we lost you for a sec. We're just making sure you're still there. Oh, there you are. Okay.
So, like,
Yeah.
Jay, when you're, like, out in the grocery store, okay, and,
Yeah.
like, do you, like, when you hear, like, because this is what happens to David. we were at a diner that I really
Constantly.
like. Okay,
Constantly.
it's called the Lakehurst Diner. I really like eating there. The prices are good, and you know how we are with our Jersey diners. We can eat 24 hours
Oh, yeah.
a day. Okay, so we're in this diner, and there's these guys talking about how great Trump is, and they're watching Fox News, right? And David
God,
is
yeah.
going to try to say something
I'm
to
like,
them.
and this fucking fat guy got off on telling this young waitress.
Yeah.
that-
Telling her she's stupid for voting for Bernie and stuff like
yeah,
that.
she called her I called her a communist because there's a
Right.
distinct difference between communism and socialism.
Right,
so
but the point is that David was going to, and I stopped him.
I was going to
said,
say something.
David, I like eating here.
But he's one of these frequent like diner guys that knows every waitress, and I was
Oh, yeah,
about to
like
fucking.
Toots,
I
he
was,
called her like Toots, you know?
I was.
And as we were leaving, we called her over, and we were like, don't listen to that fucking asshole.
Don't listen to that asshole. You know, I can't deal. I don't know what it takes anymore for people not to be Trump
So
supporters.
do
I'll
you
never
run
get
into
it.
people like this in like your food stores and things down there that like are just, saying things that are lies? Do you want to correct them? How do you stay quiet?
Like I said, it's you have to just kind of take it, and you have to just really ignore a lot of it.
Yeah.
But we're surrounded, and I think George Carlin said it best. You take the average stupid person, and there's a it's not dead on, but there's people are just that stupid and that
Bill Maher says
uninformed
that
and
too.
that it's astounding to me how many people I encounter on a daily basis that are just
Well, they don't have the right facts.
They don't have the right facts.
Because they listen to things like Jay.
don't.
Jay invests his time for us, so he can listen to these things, so we don't have to.
right.
Right. So he knows, like you actually venture onto the other side, so you can try to
Yeah,
understand,
I
like,
do.
why are people so misled, and you actually know the answers to those questions.
See, that's what I keep telling. I tell liberal people this all the time. So you have to understand. You have to understand why these people think like they do, because of the horse shit that they're fed. I
Yeah.
mean,
Absolutely.
It's really,
So it's
really
really
all
their
about
fault, though.
what they listen to.
Well, you don't have much choices of programs to listen to as well, right?
Well, see, if you live here, you got to have a satellite radio or a computer, because the only talk radio we have here is this is the lineup we have here.
Besides,
you start off with
I'll tell you.
with
Wait,
Glenn
I
Let
don't
him
even.
finish, please.
I don't even live there. I can tell you what.
No,
you have.
let him finish. I want to know what he has.
Jesus Radio.
All right, let him finish, David.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, and I'll get to the Jesus radio in a minute.
Yeah.
But this is what they start off with. You got Glenn Beck in the morning, and then you got Limbaugh at noon, and then you got Sean Hannity. I mean, yeah, the Fox guy, Sean Hannity, if we don't get enough of him as it is,
Right.
on at 3. And that's what these people hear, And then, I think we have 6 religious radio stations here. 6.
It's
Why
6.
you need
I'm
six?
asking
Stop
you.
sinning.
It's just 6. It's 6 too many.
It's 6 too many, right? Stop sinning. You won't need to go to church so much.
See,
Dave, when you go into the restaurants, we have a couple of restaurants here, and I'm not kidding. They play Christian music right in the restaurant.
Oh, but David would be thrown.
I would not
David
be.
would smite it.
I'd be eating home a lot. I'd probably get fucking struck by lightning. I would not
David would
be.
be like, in like Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny, where Daffy turns into a pile of ash.
Right. It would be. I would walk in. It would be like this. What the?
Like
hell?
there's an atheist in
Oh,
the house. I'm close to
listen.
the diner.
The other day, I dropped a lady off the other day at a nursing home, and I walked into a group. There's a bunch of old little 3 foot tall, long haired bitches, and
Oh,
they were
God,
there
that's
for
not nice.
They were there for rosary. They're like, "Do you want to join us?" I'm like, "No, I'm an atheist," and they all shot me like the hairy Christian eyeball,
Yeah.
like
That
what?
happened to me. I was at a health fair, and it was on Ash Wednesday. I didn't know it was Ash Wednesday. How would I even know that? Anyway, I wasn't fast enough to get my things out of the health fair. Jay, I'm a nurse. I don't know if you know that because we're friends on Facebook, but
Yeah,
okay.
we were.
So all of a sudden, this priest comes in with these Tupperware things of I didn't know it was ash. I didn't have any idea what it was.
Right,
I got
right.
trapped in there, and they tried to ash me on my forehead.
You will turn into a pillar of salt.
I was like, "Help me!"
Now I walked in there and they're like this. Wait, hold on.
Just what do you think we're doing there?
Like, why are you here
Why
right
are you
now?
here, Dave? Right.
Yeah, but I can't. That the religious intolerance or the intolerance of other religions, but it's only Christianity drives me out of my
All right. Wait,
mind.
I want to ask about Glenn. Jay, can I ask you about Glenn Beck? Is this a show that you listen to regularly?
You talking about Glenn Beck?
Yeah, Glenn Beck. Do you listen to him?
I do hear. Like when I first get up in the morning, I'll have it on a little bit and just kind of see what he's talking about.
We have a station here called 1210 on AM, and it plays that lineup too. And I've listened to Glenn Beck, and he's an interesting guy because he's a Mormon, right? And he doesn't really like Trump, so he lost a lot of followers that way. But I mean, he's crazy. He's crazy as the day is long. But I mean, he's kind of not in lockstep with the other ones, though. Don't you agree?
Yeah, he really isn't. But he just sometimes he'll make sense for 15 minutes, and then he'll get off on the religious crap.
He'll do something.
And like when he had his own show was it on Fox? He had those blackboards, and he had like 3 other blackboards, and he started crying. I mean, it was a bizarre thing that he was doing there.
He's so bizarre. I just don't understand. Like, what it's going to take for the evangelicals? What will it take for them to lose support? I don't think at this point.
There's nothing, David.
There's
still
nothing.
Look what happened to the Catholic Church. They're not going to stop going to church because of that. We have the televangelists that took money and stole from the church. They still continue to give their money to these churches.
Jay, if as many people, say Denny's molested thousands of children every year, people would burn Denny's down to the ground. But the largest pedophile ring in the entire world, the for-profit pedophile ring, which is the Catholic Church, doesn't lose parishioners. I'll never understand it. They were filming porn on their property of church. How are they not shut down? How are they not all in fucking prison?
Yeah, there was a porn ring.
I don't know.
I don't get it. I got to the point. I'm at the point now. I know I post a lot and I say a lot online, and I'm like this in person too. But I'll just never understand. Like, see, that's the best thing about being open-minded is that you have the ability to change your mind if you're presented with the proper facts. I just don't understand why people don't do their research.
There's a lot of times people are, spoon-fed religion, and they're actually afraid they're afraid to question it.
Right.
Because they're afraid that something's going to happen to them.
Right. And here's my thing with Trump. See, you have these Southerners and these Bible Belt people, and we don't want some billionaire telling us what to do, and we don't want this, and oh wait, he doesn't like Mexicans and doesn't like immigrants.
You know what it was? Like Michael Moore said,
it was the red hat.
The hat.
It was the hat.
Now, Jay, do a lot of people wear hats where you are, like baseball, like trucker hats?
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, it's
Michael Moore said when he saw Donald Trump wearing that trucker hat, and it's not a baseball cap, it's an actual trucker's hat.
It's a trucker's
He
hat.
said that's pretty brilliant because instead of being this New Yorker loudmouth, con man, now he's one of us. It just is. He's somebody who would hang out with us if given the chance. They really think that.
Once he started with the Mexicans are rapists. And
he has this. Dave has this.
I have my soundboard. Hold on.
I will build the wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it, and they'll be happy to pay for it.
Right.
You know what? Before we talk about that, my favorite one is the American dream is dead.
His speech when he gave his inauguration speech. There's blood running down the streets. There's Muslims climbing over the walls. Carnage. There's carnage. There's blood. He said some stuff. Hold on.
I am officially running for president of the United States.
Don't
remember this day in history? It was terrible. When I was in the hospital, I found out he won. I'm like, when he was running, I'm like, holy fuck.
You didn't.
You know what?
The window.
You know what? I want to have a conversation with a Trump supporter. You can't bring up Barack Obama. You can't bring up Hillary's emails, and you can't bring up the wall. You can't bring up any of that. Any of those.
Well, let me just say something to Jay. Jay, at the rally in Virginia today, West Virginia, You know,
Right.
they did the greatest hits again, the lock her up chant.
We owe China.
All right, David, turn that off. You know, so the guy who is actually running for office, I don't know what his name is down there, but that's why Trump came down there to campaign for him.
To back him up.
He said something about Hillary to the crowd, and the crowd starts yelling, lock her up, lock her up. Meanwhile, Paul Manafort is going to jail. I mean, he's guilty on 8 counts. I mean, that could be many
Tiffany.
years in jail. And
Yep.
Michael Cohen probably will go to jail too. You know, so all these people have pled guilty or are going to jail. And I don't know do people not know this information down where you are? Or is it not said on these broadcasts that you listen to?
Crooked Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, like
Well,
we
they
don't
watch
want
they
it.
watch that Fox News brainwash, and that's what's wrong with these people. I mean, they don't know what independent media is,
Nope.
and they just get a one-sided view of what's going on, and that's why they think like they do.
Where was it?
Oh, you know what? I did see something. I read Fox News online today, and it said it spun the Manafort conviction as saying these were things that were done before he came into the Trump administration, and it has nothing to do with collusion or Russia. Although it does, because that's only this trial. Now he's going to be tried federally with
Yes,
Mueller.
definitely.
So I don't know how. Like, I guess they're not providing that information to their people yet. You know, but there's all kinds of collusion because Paul Manafort did not take a salary. He was millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. You know,
He was a Russian.
Right.
He's a Russian agent.
They know all this. Like every question that Mueller asks, he already knows the answer to. So,
You're fired.
Yeah.
But here's my question too. Also, how do you feel about Giuliani? Because to me, he's a rambling maniac.
Okay, let's answer.
Oh,
Okay, answer that one first, then we'll go get into Giuliani.
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, I watched Meet the Press this past weekend.
We did too. We did too.
Guy for real?
When he said, what did he say? Truth isn't truth.
Truth isn't truth.
The truth isn't the truth.
Truth isn't truth.
Well, even Chuck Todd, he pushed back a little bit. Now, Tim Russert, I had to show David some
Tim
videos of Tim
Russert.
Russert because
Oh.
Tim Russert would have challenged that with a video right in his face.
Absolutely.
Right, but Chuck Todd doesn't do that. Chuck Todd just pushes back a little bit and he says, well, what if the judge, takes into account how truthful Comey has been over his life compared to how truthful Trump has been? And he's like, well, I guess you could do that. But see,
The problem
Tim
is
Russert would have said no.
the problem
Let's show
is
you why.
right. The problem is the story changes with Trump and with Giuliani, with anyone dealing with that administration every single day, and not for anything. But Marty bought Omarosa's book, and she.
Well, you know what? I bought the book
You go.
because like this is what even what Bill Maher says. Yeah, she's a manipulative bitch,
but
but
now
she
she's-
apparently is now she's ours.
She's ours.
So like I want to see what the book said. From the first chapter on, the prologue to the book is all about her on the search for the tape with the N-word. That's what the book, like the first part of the book is. They know the tape is out there. She's on the search for it. Everybody knows about it. Some people have heard it even, but they need to get that tape before somebody gets it.
Do you need to hear Trump say the N-word when he praises neo-Nazis and people marching down the street, and some of them are good people, when he bashes immigrants and bashes Mexicans, and do you
Well,
really-
even if there was a tape of him saying it, it will change no one's mind.
It will change
Because
no one's
Jay,
mind.
We already know he said it, so we're not voting for him anyway. And the right-wing Republicans, they don't care if he said it. So what difference does it make?
Well, it doesn't make a difference. It's smoke and mirrors. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's
Look what he did when he first, the whole grab him by the pussy thing. I mean,
I thought he was done. Did you think he was done, Jay?
I thought he was done when he made fun of that handicap reporter.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was done when he
Absolutely.
said he can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue. I thought he was done when he wouldn't turn in his tax returns. I thought he was done during the fucking going back and forth and hovering over Clinton and breathing down her neck and
Right, remember? He
sniffing
was like
into
a
the
shark.
microphone.
He was like a shark behind her.
What the fuck? Does nobody else see this? Like what we're seeing? I feel like I live in Bizarro land.
It's berserk.
I his
So think about how we feel here, and David, we have a ton of people around us who are like-minded.
Right.
Jay down there, Jay, how many, as like a percentage-wise, how many people are liberals and how many are conservatives there where you live?
Right.
Well, it really depends on where you go here. And we have a pretty good education system here. We have a lot of nice colleges here with a lot of people from up north going here.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you drive down here where I live and go 15 miles outside of Winston-Salem, and you got nothing but rebel flags and Trump signs on the same flagpole in people's front yards.
Do you see any Russian flags?
It changes that quickly.
Do you see Russian flags around?
I don't see anything like that, but I'm telling you, we have active Klan people here all around us.
Have you ever seen like a Klan guy in a robe?
Yes, I have.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
sir, hey, Jay, how you doing? I'm just buying bread for the Crown Lottery tonight. Don't mind me.
Did you see them marching somewhere, Jay, or was he just out buying the groceries like Dave said?
Look at his Klan outfit.
Like, how do they do that? Do they dress up all the time? David, you like
Well,
costumes.
they don't walk around in public like that, but I mean they leave those KKK flyers. They've left those in people's mailboxes, on windshields, on cars here.
You know what, Jay? Instead of this country building a wall, it needs to build a gigantic mirror. Because I want to know, when was America really great for everybody? When is he talking about?
That's what I've been saying. I've been saying this all along.
Yeah.
Great for who? When was it great for natives? When was it great for slaves? When was it great for women?
Well, women were the last ones to be given the right to vote. We had to fight for that.
You know what? We watched The Handmaid's Tale. And I don't know if you guys get that down in Trump land,
Yeah,
but
I've heard of that movie, but I haven't seen it yet.
You have to see it.
you have to watch
It's
it.
actually pretty disturbing. Like, some part of it, I said to David, I think I need some therapy right now.
It's accurate. It's pretty much post-apocalyptic America, and rich white men run everything, of course, and it's very religious run. It's kind of scary, especially with this religious task force we have going on between that and fucking Space Force. It makes I have to actually walk away sometimes, because it boggles my mind how people think and how I don't even want to fight anymore, but we have to fight the fight. You know what I mean? We have to keep doing these things that we do and keep talking about it, because people will it doesn't affect people until it affects them personally. And I've known people that
is exactly right, Dave.
Until it affects their wallet, until it affects their family. People go, it bothers me when people go, I don't do politics.
Oh, yes, I know that's true.
So you don't care about social issues? You're not insured? You don't care about the banks?
I want to ask Jay. So, Jay, do you have Obamacare now, or what's your insurance like?
I'm basically Medicaid. I get all mine from Medicaid now.
Okay, so your meds are covered and everything. So you're doing okay now.
Yeah, I'm everything that I have is pretty much covered under Medicaid, and I'm on several medications that are quite expensive. I mean, there's just no way we could even.
It's so expensive here. When you get sick in this country, you lose everything.
You know what? I have to depend on handouts from my doctor, because the pills I'm on, because I have colitis. My pills are $2,000?
Yeah, your pills are $2,000
a month for a month supply. I was getting suppositories. They were like $1,500. They go up my ass. Okay.
My God.
It's true.
But you know what though? The reason why, and Obamacare has been amazing for people, and people love to argue with me to death. But David, the reason why it's like that for David is because we didn't know he would need mesalamine. And now that we know that, we can switch his insurance coming up, and we'll switch to a plan that covers it. So it's been a temporary bother, but it's better than not having any insurance. Can you even imagine that?
No. And here's the thing, too. Like I said, it doesn't affect people till it affects them personally, but why don't you fix the things that we have? Why do you have to interfere with everything? And if Obama did nothing for 8 years, like people like to claim, why is Trump taking so much time dismantling somebody else's.
Exactly.
You know, if he did nothing, if he
There
just
would be nothing to run
allowed
you.
this become a welfare state. You know, with Obama, nobody's perfect, but he came in after Bush. Bush was a complete disaster.
Yeah.
Left our finances a complete mess.
Wait, let me ask Jay a question. So during the Bush years, were you a conservative then or a Republican? Because you were down there, you were born in Midland, right?
Right. Well, no, I was actually born in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, which is up
Okay,
on the
and then you
Virginia
went to live
border.
in Midland.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know
I lived
that's
in
George
Midland.
Bush country.
I lived in
though.
Midland, 25 years.
So were
Wow.
you a George Bush fan or, when did your metamorphosis take place? What year was that?
You knew the Bushes, though, didn't you? Didn't you know them
My
personally?
my father knew George Bush Jr. personally in the oil business back in the day. I mean, my dad and him have
That's right.
eaten in the
See-
same restaurants and country clubs together.
I don't think George Bush was a bad guy, especially
No,
compared
he
to now.
really wasn't. And,
Yeah,
you know, his
Dick
wife,
Cheney
Wilma,
was-
you know, she was at the local library.
Oh,
We
yeah,
saw
she's
her all
a
the
lovely
time.
woman. Yeah, I don't think he was a bad guy at all.
Oh,
I think that Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld and all those seconded him. Yeah.
Those guys should be in jail to this day.
Yes.
They're never
Yes.
held accountable for what they did.
And even when I see Dick Cheney, I can't stop but think of the Penguin from Batman.
Oh, yeah.
He really does
But-
look like, if you give him a little umbrella,
But,
he
can,
would be the Penguin.
well, now let's take something that Trump would say and put
Wait,
it.
Jay didn't ask my question yet.
Well, good.
What year was it when this happened to you where you had a change in ideology?
Well, I guess. Well, I'll pick up where where I was trying to tell you about what my health issues were.
Okay.
Let's fast forward to 2009 when this all kind of took place.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I got sick, and for a year we had no diagnosis at all.
Okay.
We're just going from doctor to doctor to doctor. Here, my girlfriend and I have been together for a long time. She's paying with her credit cards. We're using my parents' money. I mean, we blew through $50,000 in a year just trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And finally, one day I went into total renal failure at home, and I had to be taken to the hospital. And I was in a hospital for almost 4.5 months. I was in 2 different hospitals.
Wow. What was that,
And
Bill?
I almost died.
Were you? What was
So
that, what was that, Bill? What did that go about?
That's
It was over $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow. Were you on dialysis during that time?
I'll tell you what I was on. They started me on this. This is what basically saved my life. This drug called Revlimid. And at the time I was taking it, it cost $7,600 per month for a small bottle of pills that had some 25 milligram pills in it. And they bring it back to my house.
$7,000.
Oh my God.
$7,600 a month.
Oh. And that was just for one script.
One script.
That's just one of my. I was taking 22 prescriptions when I was in the nursing home. I was in a nursing home for like 2 months.
Pictures in there.
Where
You
work.
posted pictures. Yeah, you were.
I mean, I've had
thin.
people like they drive me to the hospital before. when I was in the
I would take you for free. I would give up my pay, come down and take you for free.
Dave actually visits people on his days off.
I do. I feel, there's a lot of younger people, too, who have medical
Okay,
problems.
let him finish his story.
You just told me. You just said, see how it goes with
I
this?
want to
You
see
saw
what
that,
year.
Gene, right?
I want to see what yours was.
All right. You see how she's shutting down right now? What the fuck? No sex for you.
We
lady.
have a please. We have.
I
a
don't
guest on
believe
the
she
phone.
does have the stamina.
I do.
That's right.
What a beautiful baby.
All right. So when was the switch from? Now, were you still conservative at this point?
Well, actually, I really kind of checked out of the politics. Probably for about 10 years there. The last Republican I voted for was George Bush the first time.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I voted the second time, and then I was kind of busy with things. I just didn't really.
You were kind of sick.
The first time I voted for a Democrat was in 2008 when I voted for Barack Obama.
So what about Obama did you like? What did you like about Obama when you saw him? and hurt them.
The health. I guess it was the health care,
Yeah.
and just so many things in so many. And you're just more. He sounded like he was pro workers and.
Yeah.
And.
Would you?
But anyway, around that time is when I got really, really bad sick, and I had to go in the hospital. So I voted for, definitely voted for Obama the second time. But that medication I was telling you about is now almost $20,000 a month. So it is nearly double. It's doubled, and even more so.
This is what's
I
been
started
happening in
taking the same medication.
This is what happens.
$20,000 a month for a medication.
For one medication.
Let me just say real fast. There is a guy running against Bob Menendez in New Jersey, and he made his money running a pharmaceutical company where he jacked up the prices.
Oh, MacArthur.
Yeah. No, not MacArthur. It's a different guy. His name is like Higgins or something. Huggin. He's running against Menendez. Now Menendez has had some legal issues. He was never convicted. Okay, he was found not guilty, but people don't remember that. But the other guy he's running against him, he's financing his own campaign on money because he raised a prescription in his drug company that cost 65 cents to make. He raised it to $700 a pill.
Yeah, that's right.
It's fucking greed.
And they're allowed to do this. And why are they allowed to keep on raising the prices of things? It's capitalism.
It is.
Now I'm down to 3 medications. I think I got 4 medications now. But even now we're spending it's $3,000 a month.
Wow.
For just what.
See, even Marty tells me, she's like, Jay Bradley's looking pretty good right now.
I did say that.
She did say that.
I was like, look at Jay Bradley. He's getting buff. You know?
Right.
I'll have to send you a picture of what I look like in 2009.
I saw the one in the nursing home where you're like so skinny.
Yeah. How old are you right now, by the way?
I'm 55.
55. Okay, you got 10 years.
And when did you started having health problems? Like about 10 years ago, then, right?
I started having issues about 2007.
Yeah.
And I just didn't really know what it was. And
well, you would have been about like 43. I mean, nobody thinks they're sick at 43.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, my father, and I'll show you how this pre-existing thing really ties into what I'm going to tell you. My father had his first heart attack in 1987 when he was 49 years old.
Wow.
With no insurance.
No insurance.
Yeah, they take everything.
My father was an oil field executive that built his own company from the ground up, multi-millionaire, and he could not buy a job with insurance after that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's same with my friend Karina with her cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really tough.
And this asshole wants to go back to that same system we had then. Where the pre-exist, where they can pick and choose who they insure.
Well, the Republicans' plan for health care is don't get sick, and if you do get sick, die quickly.
Yes.
They don't have any plan to treat illness, and they definitely don't have any plan for preventative medicine.
And that's what I don't get about these people in charge, too. Don't they have kids, or don't they have adults, or don't they get sick themselves, but they have lifetime coverage, right?
Well, and this is a discussion that I have with Republicans where they'll say, why should I have to pay for people, that don't have money or don't have jobs? I said, the people who are very poor, they are treated. The people in the gap area are people who have jobs and work. Their companies will not give them health insurance, and they can't afford to buy it. That's the people, these are working people, and you don't want to help them. And then you go to church and say God loves you,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus isn't going to pay the bills, I'm telling you that.
That's right.
When that sign, when you go in to get blood work, they got a sign on the wall that says payment due upon services rendered. They're not fucking around. That's what they want their money.
They want their money.
Believe me,
you don't get your test, or you don't get. It's so it's so hard to navigate sometimes. Like Marty said, especially being in that middle area. You know, if you're poor, you get covered. If you're wealthy, you can pay for it. You can afford it. But if you're in that
right in the middle, that little gap area, where that you cannot, if it goes back, you know, to like Obamacare has a subsidy, so you know you get money off. But what happened was, because I've run a business for a long time, I used to pay $1,400 a month for health insurance, but at the end of the year you could write that off on your taxes. So what happens now is my insurance is still $1,400 a month, but every month they give me a break on paying it, and so I can't write it off at the end of the year. You know, I get a write-off every month. So it's not a handout, it's not a government, it's just a different way of claiming your taxes, but people don't get that. They don't investigate.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Gene, can we have like 10 more minutes since we started late? Like 10:40? Yeah. That'd be cool. Okay. Yeah. All right.
As long as ask Jay if it's okay.
Jay, can you stay on a few more minutes with us? Because we're really enjoying the conversation. All right, cool. Listen, I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to get into the absurdities of Trump. If we can, and what you find to be the most besides him being absurd and big mouth and loud mouth and arrogant and an asshole and a blowhard.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that he's done over the past? Where are we at?
I don't know if Jay could even have a running tally of that. I mean, that's
it's anything from Space Force.
Well, Space Force is what makes you laugh.
The Space Force makes us laugh because we have the Air Force for that. They protect the atmosphere around the world. It's just everything that comes out of his mouth. People buy this shit, and I don't understand why. People, you can research stuff, you can go online, but he has people so convinced that the media is fake and these articles are fake and only listen to Fox and only listen to Sean Hannity.
I want to ask about Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
Now, Sean Hannity, do you partake in his program, Jay?
He listens to Hannity sometimes. I know he does.
I really just almost can't take Hannity.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I probably listen to him the least because he's just so smug.
He's not educated. He's very stupid. Like, you know, Rush Limbaugh actually makes spin into an art. So he's kind of interesting to listen to because the way that he crafts his narrative. You know, like when something bad happens, you turn into Rush Limbaugh, and he knows how to spin it. And that is an art. But Hannity is just a dummy. He doesn't even have an education at all. He didn't even graduate from any college.
Right. He goes against somebody like Rachel Maddow,
who's a Rhodes Scholar.
Who's a Rhodes Scholar. She's an actual doctor. She's a doctor, you know, and she's not, and she's taken as you know, fake news and fake media. But Hannity's believable. Why do so many people fall into this trap of ignorance? Can you? Being down in, not that you are, but being down in ignorant central, how can
we have ignorant people too, though? I mean,
we have them up here too. But how do people fall into this trap? Do you think it's racism? Do you think it's the way they were made? Do you think it's the way?
I think it is. I think it's a northern versus southern thing. A lot of that.
I think a lot of people haven't gotten over the Civil War.
Do you think that's true, Jay? Do they really hate us up there?
Yes. Yeah. I guarantee you, especially you know, they painted over. You know, I live 30 miles from where the Greensboro sit-in happened. Where remember when the students poured all the condiments on the black people's heads sitting at the lunch counter? Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. We're not.
Well, that happened in my lifetime almost. I mean,
wasn't that long
that's
ago.
how recent this was.
We are back. We are back there. Look at the Trump rallies. Look how racially charged they were. You know.
Yeah. Well, they're still going on like
Remember,
that.
he would say, back in the days, people didn't act like that. They were carried out in a stretcher, folks. He's talking about the 1960s. He's talking about
that's right.
Those times.
That's
He's
right.
talking about Martin Luther King. That's where he's coming from with that.
Do you remember the statement Trent Lott made years ago? He talked about Strom Thurmond, and he said something about like. Strom had the right idea because he voted against civil rights. and they took Trent and they threw him right out of town. They're like, you go back to where you came from.
You know what? Trump can build his wall. He can build it from.
No, because then Jay will be stuck down there.
No, but see, this is the point. If you want to come north and you want to be with and you want to progress forward with science and
Right.
and be up here with the liberal thinkers and the free thinkers, you can have fucking Bible land down there. You can have fucking Trump. Build your wall from Washington down. You can go around states.
No,
I've
because
never
we
vi-
like Virginia, not West Virginia. They
you
can
ha-
keep that.
You can have. I'll never go. I heard that the traveling to Mississippi has been down since Trump became president. Who actually goes? You know what, kids?
Wait a minute. Let me ask Jay.
What?
Jay, is there a place in Mississippi that's a travel destination? Because we've been trying to figure that out.
Who goes to Mississippi?
Well, Biloxi.
That's what I was thinking. Because of
But-
Biloxi Blues. Remember that movie?
Yeah, but it's a military base. Who's going to go? Like, it's a military town.
I
Who's
think they
gonna
have
go-
a. I think they have a steamboat there.
Dave, it's the gambling. Remember
Yes.
they have all the gambling boats?
Right. That there's steamboats that you gamble on.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
the
can.
boats. That's the only thing that saved that area is gambling.
You know what? Get a fucking passport and go there like a different country. They can have fucking Texas. They can have Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina.
No, but
They-
Jay made a very interesting point. In all of these states, even in Kentucky, because my friends visit Kentucky and Lexington, there's a lesbian couple. They go to Lexington, they have a great time. But you go 30 miles out from Lexington, you're going to get killed.
That's very much the way it is here.
That's the way it is.
Very much the way
I
it is.
think it's not really a northern-south problem as much as a city
City
and a rural.
and a rural.
You know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
every city you go to, like even Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, these are liberal cities. You know? Winston-Salem is down there. Charlottesville,
Now,
you know?
I have a question for Jay. After everything we've been through with the 580,000th year that Trump's been in the White House,
It's 579 right now.
whatever the fuck it is, it's too long. Do you think that what is the requirement to be president? 35 years old and a natural born citizen, right?
That's right.
Right.
He should have, in the beginning, he should have been vetted all the way back to kindergarten. Physical exam, mental exam, tax forms. There
Well,
should-
he had the physical exam by that doctor. Remember, he
Oh,
said he was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the healthiest man ever. No, not the candy man.
Oh,
No. The first doctor. He said he would be the healthiest, fittest man ever who held office
Who
ever.
held Trump, the healthiest, fittest
I
man ever.
have never understood the appeal of this guy from day one.
From day one, he's obnoxious, he's loud, he's boisterous, he's a liar. He's so much, and his wife, Count Dracula, drives me crazy with this best garbage. He has done nothing in there.
You know what? Let me
She's
just.
against she's against cyberbullying. Has she met her husband?
Oh, wasn't that funny? These people do not understand what hypocrisy or irony is whatsoever.
No, because she goes out and be best, and she's against cyberbullying and how it could be used. And have you not met who you're married to? You green card bitch, whatever the fuck you are. Like what?
I know. I know.
And he's against chain migration, and her parents report here on
Parents
chain
are-
migration.
Yes, because the rules don't apply to him.
The hypocrisy in this administration is glaring.
Yes.
And it boggles my mind and it drives me crazy where I just have to walk away sometimes because I'm like, do people not see what we're seeing? Do people not watch what we're watching? How do you watch the same show or the same thing and come back with two
Because,
different...
like Jay said, and this is what we've learned. This is the synopsis of what we learned, David, is that Jay said there isn't too much variety of shows there. He told you what the lineup is.
I know.
There's no progressives in that lineup. So he's getting, are you getting your progressive voices from like satellite or YouTube or something? Yeah, so he's having to look it up.
Most of the people I listen to here, I have Tom Hartman.
Yeah.
I
You do
have
Stephanie Miller?
Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk.
You do listen to Stephanie Miller, right? I know I caught you doing
I do. Yeah, I actually had her on this morning.
I listened to her
for a
this morning,
while.
too.
Normally we listen to Stephanie.
Randy Rhodes?
Yeah, I haven't listened to Randy Rhodes a lot, but I'm familiar with her. I
Randy
like her
Rhodes
a
just
lot.
blows your mind because she's super prepared.
She's super
And
prepared.
I just introduced David to her a little while ago. What he hasn't heard yet is when there's a right-wing caller who calls in, and she, with her New York accent, just slays them. she's armed with information.
She's a Jew from New York. Like, her desk is completely lined with papers, and she does her research, but
She reads 1,000 pages a day.
she really does, and she comes out. It's different. But Rachel Maddow too. She's another one who people can't go against because she has all the facts.
Jay, do you listen to Bob Seska? I'm gonna have to send you a
Bob-
link.
Bob-
Bob Seska,
Bob who?
because Bob Seska, he calls into Stephanie's show on Tuesdays. I think it's Tuesdays. He lives in Washington D.C. He has a great podcast.
He's
Oh,
really
He's
check
actually,
it
good.
he's
out.
actually my Facebook friend, which is so awesome.
SESCA, Bob Seska.
No,
He's really, really.
CESCA. I'll send you the link on him.
Yeah, he's.
Because he has podcasts now on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays now.
He's really, really good. He's very funny too, like very funny. So
Yeah, he's got a great voice and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
so yeah, so
I'll have to check that out.
so really, what we learned is that Jay has to actually seek information outside of what the information is freely there. You know, like they have their
Yeah.
lineup that's free, and he has to actually have an internet connection or satellite radio in order to research and do investigations on
So
his own to
you
find
guys
out.
are kind of in a bubble down there, so to speak.
We're in a bubble here
Yeah.
too, though.
We're in a bubble. Yeah, we are.
That's why it's good for us to speak to right-wing people here and listen to Jay and what he tells us about stuff, because we don't know. You know?
See, I just
You get-
when I deal with somebody in the right wing, my brain is.
David.
Sorry, that's kind of loud, but I can't deal with. I don't even talk to my own brother, who is a born again Christian and a Trump supporter. My mom's like, "Did you call your brother?" No, I did not, because I can't mentally get past it. Like I
Yeah.
can't have.
But we have to, and we're going to try.
We are. We're gonna. Well, you're gonna try.
You know, my brother is kind of responsible for educating me, because he's been liberal long before I was, so he kind of brought me around even more, probably about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, there's a movie.
So I would have to him.
There's a movie out now called Black Klansman. So if that's possible, it's possible maybe to turn one person. But I where do we go from here? Now, hear me out.
We
Gene,
only
like,
got a minute.
Give me like 5 more minutes.
No, we don't have that. We have one more minute.
No,
now.
wait. What I see happening for the midterms is that he's going to get his crowd so riled up, and there's going to be some big event between now and the midterm elections that there's going to be martial law. They're going to postpone the midterm elections, which means he has more time to fuck shit up. And
Yep.
I just something big.
I hope that's not true.
So I have a feeling that something big is going to happen, because he needs that distraction right now, because all his boys are getting arrested, and I'm going to be while they're being
And
tried.
then
found
next is
guilty.
going to be, Jay, do you think next is going to be Donald Trump Jr.? Because they are squeezing him.
Yeah, I think Trump Jr. is going to be next, just like Dave. I agree.
Yeah,
I think it's
so,
going to
too.
be Trump Jr. I think it's going to be Jared Kushner.
Yeah, Jared Kushner is
He's
gonna-
fragile. He will not deal well. And Trump's going to go, Don Trump Jr. I never really knew him. I knew he. I never. Yeah, hold on.
Says who?
Yeah,
I never really knew Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, he didn't work for me for that long.
He didn't work for me for that long. He's your son. But I think what's going to happen if they go after Ivanka, because there's shit going on. I don't think she's involved in that part of it, but there's business
She's dirty,
practices.
too.
She's dirty too. The whole family, the whole Republican Congress is all dirty. They're all complicit in this. Anything that
I'm
happens.
waiting to see. So far, just
they're all bought.
Jeff Flake speaks out, Bob Corker speaks out, but I don't really hear any
Oh, yeah.
other Republicans coming out. Joe Scarborough switched over, but he's not in Congress anymore
But they cowtail to these people, and we just can't
because
figure
they have
out
an
why.
agenda.
They have an agenda.
Yeah. Well, we must
They
go
do.
because Gene needs to go home.
We're looking at our tired old radio producer.
He's not old.
But I just want to really say what a real pleasure it is. You know, I know we had a lot of
Do you
questions
think
for
that you would like to call in another time, like if we can get our Skype working, Jay?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah,
really
we-
enjoyed
yeah,
talking to you so
yeah.
much.
See-
I've been looking forward to this. I've been saying to Dave for so long, like, you have to get our friend Jay to call in because I want to ask him questions.
I know she was really like dying to get you in here, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let me ask him when we get in contact with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're glad.
Hey,
we're,
hey, Dave.
yeah.
Dave, I want to tell you something about your shirt you're wearing there.
I have one too. Can you see
my mom's neighbor,
Yeah.
who's like an 80-year-old woman. She's got dipped on a big flag in her front yard and impeached Trump.
Oh,
I love that.
I love it.
See, that's something we didn't know. When we think of North Carolina, and my mom lives in North Carolina, but she's on the western side near Statesville. But we think of North Carolina, we think of rebel flags everywhere, and like people shooting deer up and like hanging up by their toes.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, like trucks with big like flags flying at the back of them.
I got a funny story, and then we'll go, Gene, just real quick. I'm at the movies, right? And I'm
Oh my god!
and I'm wearing a shirt that says "You all need Jesus" on it, and it's
Oh, boy.
yeah, big
I
letters.
bought it for him.
Yeah, she bought it for me, and this lady goes, "It's so nice that you can express yourself like that and show your love for Jesus." And I went to say something, and she's like, "David, let's go.
Let's go. Let her have her moment, okay? Why don't ruin her life?
And I'm like, but, and then Marty's like, "David, now we're leaving."
Now we're leaving. I like this movie theater. I would like to come back.
But we wanna play for you. I think Gene has it ready.
Yeah.
We want to play for you, even
Well,
though.
before because that's
Yeah.
our closing song. We just want to say we won't be back until the first week of September. Yeah, we'll be back the first Tuesday in September, and we're trying to get
Okay.
Dominic, right?
Yeah, we're trying to get my friend Dominic. Listen,
Who's like an expert on Palestine and Israel, so it'd be interesting.
we're always willing to hear other opposition, talk. But it's also nice to have someone who's on our side. But it's nice that you're in kind of enemy territory.
No, but he's saying it's really not. I mean, look, he has somebody who has an impeach flag sign.
I know. But
I didn't think that was possible to have that there. Did you think that was possible?
In South Carolina?
North Carolina.
I'm surprised
Did
their
you
house.
think that? I didn't think that ever happened.
I'm surprised their house is still standing.
That's what I mean too. It was burned down, right?
But no, you are more than welcome to call back on the show. We finally get to talk to you. We've been going back and forth for like a year now. More than a year, back and forth with stuff, and But
How long have you guys been doing this show?
Dave has been doing it about a year. I jumped on, I guess, about maybe since February.
I wanted to go. I was good with the Howard Stern shit, and I had a co-host, and she was like, I would try to go political, and she's like, I got nothing.
And not even political. She didn't have anything about anything.
Anything about anything. She could suck
She's a nice girl, though.
She could suck a dick behind Arby's, but she couldn't talk about what's going on.
Oh, yeah. We
You know.
love you, Becky and Allie.
I listen to Howard occasionally.
What's that?
I said I try to listen to Howard
Me
as
too.
much as I can, but he's on it early in the morning.
Yeah,
we just don't get up that early anymore.
Yeah, well, you're old, so I get it. I understand.
No. I'm up that early. So is David.
But listen, we have a song for you that we're gonna play.
Yeah, and then we're going to say goodnight.
Yeah,
So it's one of Trump's
It's Trump's greatest hits.
greatest hits, and it's
oh yes,
No, don't say the name
I
of it.
won't say the name, but you can see us right now, right? You
right.
can see. All right, we're gonna play this. We're gonna play this for you right now. So let us know what you
All
think.
right.
All right. dude.
Okay,
Hold on.
hold on.
Hold on. Here it comes. That's what she said.
Quiet.
Oh, here it comes. Oh,
Alright,
there it
ready?
is. There it is. Hold on.
Space Force.
Oh, you gotta turn it up.
Space Force.
Who's running the board there, Mr. Stursley?
Yes, it's Mr. Snurdly, yeah.
And that's what Russ Limbaugh's guy's name is.
Do you see it?
Space is
There it is. I see it.
domain, just like the land, air, and sea.
Hold on.
All right, there it is.
All right, dude. We'll talk to you later. I'll cut you online.
All right, I'll be watching you.
All right.
All right, thanks,
Thank you.
Jay.
Thanks,
Okay,
Jay.
bye-bye.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Space Force.
That was pretty good.
Space Force. Space Force.
Yeah.
Space Force. Space.
She stopped and she's like,
Force. Space Force. Space Force. We're
He's
doing
good.
a tremendous amount of work in space. They said maybe we need a new force. We'll call it the Space Force. And I was not really serious. And then I said, what a great idea. Tremendous. Space Force. 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 Space
song and find this.
Before you have to up and go.